Support for WCBU's On Deck comes from State Farm agent Aaron Kilgore. A Peoria native and active community member, Aaron offers both financial and insurance services to customers at their Sterling Plaza location. Information at aaronismyagent.com. This is WCBU.
Bradley students are putting their big ideas in front of a panel of judges and possible investors. That's just one of the things you want to hear about to start your day for Monday, April 22nd. I'm Colin Shope, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, a Peoria food service entrepreneur is opening a resource for other industry hopefuls to get their start. WCBU's Joe Deacon reports on the North Valley's Springboard Kitchen.
The kitchen's founder, Andres Diaz, says the commissary-style kitchen is set to open sometime this spring after a $105,000 grant from the Illinois Local Food Infrastructure Program.
The grant money is going towards infrastructure, so that includes the commissary that we're building here, the equipment, and some of the updates to the building in order to have a fully licensed by the Department of Health kitchen.
Once operational, the building at the corner of Spring and Monroe will have space for dozens of small local food producers and businesses to work in a sterile, legal licensed kitchen environment. Diaz says it's a space for a safe trial run before scaling up. As he points out, statistics show that most restaurants fail in the first 6 months.
So if we give a food entrepreneur the ability to maybe fail quickly or to get into the marketplace quickly and figure out where their niche is, they can do it much cheaper and more effectively out of a commissary kitchen or this ghost kitchen.
Diaz says he expects the program to get up and running over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Interested food producers can reach out to him through his other project, Urban Acres, on Facebook. For WCBU's On Deck, I'm Joe Deacon.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. Peoria's public transit agency has new leadership. CityLink has hired John Myers as their next general manager. He replaces Doug Rolfs, who retired last week after more than 7 years at the helm. And Peoria Civic Center General Manager Rick Edgar says staffing for events has continued to improve gradually since COVID-19. Find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. Some Bradley students are thinking about graduation this month. For others, it's finals. But a few are focused on making the final pitch of their big ideas to a panel of judges and potential investors. WCBU's Tim Shelley has more.
Jinshin Yang's big idea starts with finding a solution to a problem she experiences herself.
I don't have a mind's eye, which means I can't imagine things in my mind. So when it comes to choosing outfits for daily occasions or other events, I have to put on clothes one by one and try the different combinations, and that just results in such a mess that I don't want to clean up.
Yang is leading the team developing the Virtual Wardrobe app. It allows users to take photos of their clothing and create a virtual model of themselves.
And then you're able to drag and drop your virtual clothes onto your virtual self and see a real-life fit.
Rahul Tyaggi's idea comes from his wife's work at a Peoria hospital. She regularly sees the long recovery journeys of stroke survivors. Nearly 800,000 people in the U.S. suffer a stroke each year. Tyaggi's Rehab Ranger is a combined app and wearable device he's creating that helps stroke patients through their therapy process.
So in the mobile application itself, we'll have a library of videos that solves our problem, how we are going to do it, the problem we were facing initially. And the another part is scanning of the body while you are doing the exercises. That solves our problem whether we are doing it right or wrong.
Essentially, Tyaggi says the mobile app will both show a patient how to do their exercise and also track their movement to make sure they're doing it correctly. Meanwhile, the wearable device tracks not only vital signs like heart rate and blood pressure, but also the patient's balance and gait. Those motor skills often cause difficulties for stroke patients. Tyaggi says it's also a good tool for physicians to gather data from the rehab sessions.
Once their doctor reviews that, they have the authority to mention that you can continue with the same session, or if they want to level it up, so they can do it from then and there itself, and the patient can see in their mobile application that their protocol has been updated. They'll get a notification.
Kaylee Colito started work on Gizmos back when she was still in high school. It's centered all around making learning not only more accessible, but more engaging. Colito draws on her own experience after transferring from a school in a lower income neighborhood to one in a more affluent suburb.
It was very drastically different from what I was used to in the past, and because of that, I was able to really learn and thrive and figure out my interests compared to how it was in the past years at my older schools. And I thought that obviously it's really unfair, but it doesn't have to be.
An online presence with different educational offerings like consumer science, engineering, and art is part of the equation. But Colito says she wants to offer tangible products too.
So this year we've been trying to develop an actual product that can go along with that website. And these products are like lessons in a box, but we don't want these lessons to be strict or limited.
The top 3 teams in the Big Idea competition will land some seed money to help them further develop their concepts. But even if she doesn't win, Xinshin Yang says she wants to continue virtual wardrobe.
If I manage to get funding, we'd be able to go forward as planned. But in the case that we don't, I would like to continue to keep it as a passion project.
Kaylee Colito already has plans for the Gizmos product she's invested years into.
I want to build a community of learners or innovators, and I think it's going to be really exciting once we really get it out there. We're going to start in Peoria with schools like maybe Whittier Elementary School, and I guess just where it goes is just how people respond to it.
Rahul Tyagi says things are moving fast. This time last year, he was still sitting in an office back in India.
This year, by this time, we started this idea somewhere in January. And between these 3 months, these 3.5 months, we have made a lot of progress.
Finalists will make their live presentations to judges this afternoon at the Hayden Clark Alumni Center at Bradley University. For WCBU, I'm Tim Shelley.
Now, before we let you go, tonight is a regular meeting of the Pekin City Council. Those meetings start at 5:30 p.m. in Council Chambers at City Hall. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on the NPR app, Apple, or Spotify.